It was about my anxiety mainly. I had the most terrifying anxiety attacks.
If you have ever had intense anxiety or a panic attack in public, today's episode is specifically for you. Maybe in an airplane, that's my personal favorite, or any place where you don't have the luxury of putting on your jammies, crawling under your covers, and waiting for it to all eventually go away. Who better to know about this than some of the world's most famous celebrities? Celebrities who also suffer from the same intense anxiety and panic attacks that we all do. What can we learn from these celebrities who have access to the best therapy that money can buy? Today, we're diving into the strategies that high-profile celebrities use when their anxiety and panic are at its highest. By the end of this episode, you'll learn their proven techniques to stop panic attacks, and I'll provide you with a blueprint to apply these strategies to conquer your panic attacks and turn your anxiety into an asset just like they did. So check this out. During panic and anxiety, they say to be in the present moment to calm down. Well, in the present moment, all I could ever think about was how terrified I was. Right now, in this moment, I'm about to jump out of this plane. So I had to rediscover how I approach being present and accepting the feelings that I was feeling without trying to run from them. What about you? Has mindfulness worked during your panic attacks? I can't wait to read about your experiences. So years later, after applying most of the techniques that you're going to learn today, when it came time for me to give a presentation to over 400 people, I was as cool as a cucumber. I'll also share the techniques that I used that were most successful for me and the ones that weren't so great. So let's start with the lovely and talented Emma Stone, who has been remarkably open about her early struggles with panic attacks starting at the age of 7.
Hi, I'm Emma. What I would tell kids that are going through anxiety, which I have and can relate to, is that you're so normal. It's crazy. So many people. I mean, to say you're so normal, it's crazy. It's a pretty funny thing to say, but it's so normal. Everyone experiences a version of anxiety or worry in their lives.
Today, she refers to anxiety as her, quote, operating system. And using the techniques that I'm about to share with you, Emma now sees her anxiety as a creative superpower. She appreciates the depth of feelings that it brings, explaining that an overreactive fight or flight response isn't necessarily bad or wrong. In her view, people who experience anxiety and depression are incredibly sensitive and intelligent. Emma feels lucky to be anxious and believes that anxiety is happening for her, not to her, transforming it into her superpower. Emma says that regular therapy sessions have been crucial to helping her deconstruct her fears, triggers, and panic attacks. These sessions not only help her to become aware of the thoughts that she's thinking when the anxiety is triggered, but also how to confront those thoughts and minimize them, especially when the anxiety and feelings of panic are at their worst. She also practices mindfulness, which helps her to conquer stage fright as well as to reduce anxiety in social situations like on the red carpet. In therapy, Emma created a book called I Am Bigger Than My Anxiety, in which she drew pictures of a little green monster that sits on her shoulder. The monster, her anxiety, would grow whenever she listened to it and would shrink whenever she didn't. The operative words there is when she listened to it and when she didn't. We have to learn how to quiet our egos and the negative thought systems that play subconsciously in the back of our minds. So Adele's journey amazes me. The beautiful Adele, known for her powerful voice and emotional depth, has faced intense stage fright and panic attacks before performances.
It was about my anxiety mainly. I had the most terrifying anxiety attacks after I left my marriage. They'd paralysed me completely and made me so confused because I wouldn't be able to have any control over my body, but I knew that I was aware of it all happening. It was like I was still very much there while my whole body was just like on another planet, it felt like, you know?
Just think about that for a minute. Before going out on stage and killing it, she has just recovered from an emotional tornado. Imagine being able to calm intense anxiety and panic. Adele's techniques can help you achieve that. So here's how she does it. Adele has become an expert at deep breathing, which slows her heart rate and calms her mind. Breathing exercises such as the 4-7-8 technique, where she would breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. This exercise can really help you regain control during a panic attack by increasing the amount of oxygen in your bloodstream and promoting a state of calm. Like Emma, Adele also credits her success with regular therapy sessions. In these sessions, she works on becoming aware of the negative thought patterns and belief systems that are the root causes to her feelings of intense anxiety. Adele practices positive self-talk, reminding herself of past successful performances and the joy that her music brings to others. Additionally, a technique called reality testing, which involves questioning anxiety-inducing thoughts, which stops our tendency to overthink or catastrophize. For example, she may challenge the idea that something bad will happen during her performance by looking at evidence of her past shows, which were successful and rewarding. Now let's talk about the charming and quick-witted Ryan Reynolds. Ryan is very vocal about his battle with anxiety and panic attacks, and his superpower is his amazing sense of humor, turning his anxiety into something more manageable.
So you've talked about struggling with anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had anxiety my whole life, really. And, I feel like I have two parts of my personality that one takes over when that happens. When I would go out on like Letterman back in the day, I would always be nervous. But I remember I'd be standing backstage before the curtain would open, and I would think to myself, I'm going to die. I'm literally going to die here. Or the curtain's going to open and I'm just going to be a symphony of vomit. Just like something horrible is going to happen.
Ryan emphasizes the power of positive thinking and finding humor in very difficult situations. He also advocates for mental health awareness, leading with the message that it's okay to not be okay. So here's how Ryan does it. By viewing anxious situations through a humorous lens, Ryan changes his emotional response to them. Ryan makes light of his feelings, which not only lightens the mood, it makes his feelings more manageable by sharing them openly. Similar to Adele and Emma, Ryan has also spoken out about the importance of consulting with mental health professionals who can provide strategies and tools to uncover and correct negative thought patterns and belief systems. Ryan also uses meditation and mindfulness. By observing his thoughts and feelings without judgment, it helps reduce the overwhelming power of anxious thoughts. Tools like guided imagery are also incredibly helpful. This is where you visualize a peaceful and safe environment, and essentially, you trick your mind into thinking intently about this safe place. The point of this exercise is to keep that safe place in the back of your mind, so you have it ready whenever you start to feel intense anxiety or panic. This is a very powerful way to calm your mind and reduce feelings of panic. Like Emma, Ryan has mastered viewing his feelings of anxiety and panic as happening for him, that the positives far outweigh the uncomfortability associated with navigating feelings of panic. Before I share what's worked best for me, I want to highlight the common themes that shape a blueprint for your success in managing intense anxiety and panic attacks. The first is accountability. Each of these celebrities takes responsibility for the thoughts that trigger intense panic, recognizing and addressing them with tools like Ryan's humor or reality testing. The second is openness to going deeper. They work with mental health professionals to reframe their perceptions, essentially being willing to see their experiences differently in a more loving and compassionate way, such as extending forgiveness to yourself and others. This isn't just about exploring the traumatic experiences that you've had. This is about going deeper and becoming aware of the thoughts and belief systems that you have created as a result of those experiences. For example, if you were abandoned, perhaps you have a belief system that you are unlovable or that you can't trust people to stick around. Or if someone mistreated you, perhaps you have a belief system that you are perpetually unsafe and need to protect yourself. So when you get into an uncomfortable situation, automatically you begin to get intense anxiety and become triggered into panic. And third, identifying their inner superhero. They see their reality as something that is happening for them, not to them. This mindset helps them to quiet ego thoughts that prevent them from taking accountability and being open. When you master accountability and being open to going deeper, you open the door for the unlimited power of love and acceptance to flow through you, awakening your inner superhero. As promised, 2 techniques that were game-changing for me. I love these. The first that was game-changing for me was reality testing, which questions anxiety-inducing thoughts and helped me to stop being the queen of catastrophizing. This is primarily about questioning the stories that we make up in our minds. Here's an example. There's a massive difference between the bear that is going to attack you in your mind and the bear that is actually attacking you. The second that was super powerful for me was guided imagery. This is where you visualize a peaceful and safe environment. So one day I meditated myself into an incredibly comfortable state of mind. I was so relaxed. And while in that state, I asked myself, niece, what is preventing you from feeling like this on an airplane? So now, when I'm on an airplane, I use guided imagery to trick my mind into thinking that I'm in my safe place, because in reality, I am safe. Before I know it, I'm 30,000 feet up laughing hysterically at Napoleon Dynamite, asking for double snacks. So today we explored how top celebrities prevent panic attacks from ruining their lives. In my next episode, I'll reveal the top 5 questions that leading psychologists ask their clients to help them identify the root causes of their panic attacks, to help cure feelings of anxiety and panic. I'll also share my #1 book for curing anxiety and panic attacks naturally. This book has changed thousands of people's lives, including mine, as well as many celebrities and CEOs, by introducing them to the exciting field of positive psychology. We also discussed how therapy should not only be used to discuss your past trauma, but also to identify the thoughts and belief systems that are playing subconsciously in your mind as a result of those experiences. If you would like some great examples of the belief systems that might be playing subconsciously in your mind, I actually took a deeper dive into this topic in a recent video entitled, You Think You're Over It, Think Again, where I gave some powerful examples of how my negative thought processes and belief systems were negatively impacting my life. They were basically ruining my life, okay? I know that you'll love that video as well. I'm giving you a huge shout out for rocking with Niece all the way to the end of this video. A+ for you. And before I go, I used to walk around completely anxious and worried about everything, and I didn't even know it. The thoughts that were playing subconsciously in my mind had me filled with intense anxiety and panic, and I have never been more free. So if it can happen for me, I know that it can happen for you. And remember this as you go about this journey of becoming completely free of intense anxiety and panic. I love you, and God loves you, and God has a message for you today.